I wonder if we should even cover this. But will this pod become bigger after Shaq dies? Like, if he dies in the next 5 years, could this be... Do we try to make this evergreen? And then after that, be like, it's someone for, like, Reddit or whoever or HuffPost or whatever website that you can download in your body in 10 years.
Yeah, they'll be looking for the really hot takes on, Shaq's life and career, especially some assholes from Massachusetts fucking talking about...
He played for the Celtics.
Yeah.
His 1996
seminal.
Well, I will say this, it's true that super tall people don't generally live long lives, but I think if anyone's got a chance, it's someone who was a superstar in the NBA. Because I mean, Magic Johnson's the only guy I know who got his HIV or his AIDS cured completely.
No, it's not. Okay.
It's out of his body.
It's not out of his
body. There are no longer.
It's undetectable.
Okay, it's undetectable. Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
yeah, which is good. Like functionally,
de facto,
it's like herpes.
Gone.
He has it. It's just not like you can't find it.
Well, anyway, I'm just saying that. I think
should we start the podcast eventually?
Yeah, I mean, let's. Should we just have this one come in wherever we started recording? And then, here, look.
I would have started recording like 10 minutes ago.
You've been listening to Make It Stop. Yeah. Bad music, good times. I'm Mike Dunn.
And we're here talking Shaq, so to speak.
We're Shaq talking.
We're Shaq talking. We're Shaqing it up with the Big Shamrock himself, Shaquille O'Neal.
No. Don't call him that.
No. What
are you talking about?
Put some respect on his name. It's Enrico Consales. Enrico Gates.
He has 17 names. He has 17 names. What was it? The big Mashugala, whatever the fuck it was.
That sexy chocolate Superman.
Oh my God.
Daddy Long.
I'm not doing that.
Did he say the
he
man
does call
emblem?
himself Daddy Long.
Yeah.
I'm 30 seconds away from walking.
You gotta strap on in because we're gonna be here a while. We should. We're so rude, stoppies. We're just breaking all the conventions today. We haven't even introduced who we're here chatting with, shooting the Shaq with. It's our friend, actually, Mike. Why don't you introduce our guest that's here?
Sure.
Today?
We're here today with Garvey Salomon, my favorite bartender at my favorite bar, Parlor Sports.
Woo woo.
Don't go there. I don't need you stoppies taking up space.
There's not enough space.
The best place to watch the games, shoot the shit. Garvey is a bartender. He's also a girls basketball coach. And just a great guy.
And apparently a part-time DJ. Can you discuss that?
He's a curator of sounds, at least.
I curate the vibes, right? Like that's the new thing now. Like, I'm a vibe curator.
Yeah,
what the fuck does that mean?
I remember when you curated that vibe where I walked into Parlor Sports at midnight and you were blasting hooparistic, wearing a cowboy hat, saying, "Y'all need Jesus in your life."
All right.
I don't know how that started, but
why do you need to? We thought it was great.
Go ahead.
Can I do that? All right. Really quick, long story short, I had a couple of companions that were, or guests or patrons, whatever you want to call them, that were asking to hear certain songs. And Parlor is one of the few places where the bartender controls the music. You know what I mean? It's not the manager, which I also am, but it's not like, the GM that's going around being like, we gotta play, we gotta keep it at 110 BPMs, and we gotta keep the place vibing and moving and all that. It's not like that. If I'm working, you're gonna hear anything from old hip hop, reggae, dancehall, Afrobeat, shitty pop songs from the 90s, 80s, yacht rock, Christian rap. Well, whatever. Yeah.
But where you draw the line is the album that we're going to fucking discuss today, apparently.
And so,
you listen to Christian rap.
I want to hear the explanation.
So someone there told me that her husband's favorite group was hooparistic. He's gone to go see them live many a time.
Hell yeah.
And so I play it. And then my coworker that was working that night, John O., who is a very smart guy, goes, I know what you're doing. You're basically like you're trolling all of these white people that are here. And I go, no, I'm not. I really like this music. And then he's like, I know what you're doing. And I go, no, man, come on, dude. No, I would never do something like that. And I followed that up with what did I play? Did I play Incubus? I think I played.
Yep,
Incubus.
you played a bunch
I
of
think
stuff.
Papa Roach.
I think you played Puddle. She fucking hates me by Puddle of Mud too.
I did, and then went from there. But the whole place was lit. We turned out all the lights.
It was lit.
Yeah, we were wilding that night.
I remember I was there briefly enough to witness the hooba stank, and I was like, I don't know if I'm.
I was like, I don't know what I just walked into, but I'm feeling it.
Yeah, let's put it this way. My boss
Says a modern day corn fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Look,
My boss came in and saw that, and she just walked right back. She was like, I'm not even gonna do this with you guys. This as long as nothing breaks. I don't care. And we had a great time that night. We had a great time. But yeah, I curate the vibes.
yeah, you would. I would classify you as like a music aficionado, music expert. You know, like I think you're not out of place in a music podcast. Like
No,
this.
I don't. I wouldn't necessarily feel uncomfortable, but I don't play instruments, and I know how to use a DJ mix board, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be headlining Coachella anytime soon.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're not going to be running your own music festival in Atlanta where you're going to be DJing with Skrillex. Okay, also,
What is this?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
Guys, did y'all do your research about my man Shaq? Okay, let's talk about.
I know that he played basketball.
Let's talk about a vibe that you in particular don't want to curate at Parlor Sports, which is the album that we're talking about today. Shaquille O'Neal's 1996 album, third album, Can't Stop the Rain, REIGN. All right, Get it?
Yep.
And he actually came out with new music February of this year.
Oh my god.
No shit.
And it is atrocious, my dudes. If you think that this album is bad, it's literally a collaboration with Skrillex.
No.
And it is all and Lil Jon.
No.
And it is just extremely loud dubstep. Let's play it for the stubbies.
No.
I got this.
Go ahead. I'm in.
Okay.
No, it's
Enrico
DJ.
Gates?
It's DJ Diesel. So this dude has he's been doing a DJ career, but not only has he been doing a DJ career or like performing as a DJ,
he talked about this a little on Hot Ones, and I didn't look more into it.
Just
I just didn't want to know.
Let me tell you, I looked into it. So he has a music festival. I think it's called Shaq's Fun House, and it's like circus themed, and it's in Atlanta, and it's next weekend, guys. So if you want to just take a wild whirlwind trip next weekend to go to Atlanta, we can go see fucking DJ Diesel with Steve Aoki and fucking Skrillex and Diplo and a bunch of other DJs, and hear this. So let's hear it.
No.
What is going on in your life if you're like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna go see Shaq DJ. I'm so pumped. I'm flying to Atlanta. I'm gonna see Shaq spin the ones and twos.
Okay, I lied. So this one is featuring an artist called Nightmare.
No.
And Lil Jon.
How did we spell night? Is it N-I-G-H-T?
Oh, it's NGHTMRE, obviously.
Oh, no
can't
vowels.
have any vowels,
No.
all consonants, all caps, all the time. So let's hear it. We're not going to listen to this whole thing, but...
Oh yeah, I should hope not.
Yeah.
Not your fucking head, not your fucking head, yo. Not your fucking head, not your fucking head, yo. Not your fucking head, not your fucking head, yo. Not your fucking head, not your fucking head, yo. Not your fucking head, not your fucking head, yo. Not your fucking head, not your fucking head, yo. Not your fucking head, not your fucking head, yo.
What?
Yeah. When your motherfucking bass go!
Bro.
Where's the Shaq part?
Yeah, is it Shaq
the
made the beat?
DJ.
He's the producer? Did he put the beat together?
He's DJ Diesel,
Who
guys.
taught him how to do the wobble bass?
I don't know.
Where'd he learn that from?
He learned it from 2007.
Yeah, for
No, maybe.
really.
The
Like
whole-
he was like one of the
This is
progenitors.
90s. This is like rave
Right.
music.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a feeling there's no way that Shaq doesn't have a story about like, yo, bro, I was in Santorini with my boy Ronnie Shackley, and he was DJing, and then we went to Ibiza. You know, there's a Z in it, but I don't know. And he taught me the ones and twos. I got my first death, and after that, I did my thing. You know, cause like I have a feeling.
Well,
that's
I
very
have a
good.
feeling. I have a feeling that that's what happened.
Yeah, but I feel like at the end though of that statement, he'd be like, "In the end, you know, I proved I could do it better than him
Because that's who Shaq is.
because I got my
Everybody
own
clap.
festival and he doesn't."
Yeah, he's a spiteful dude.
He's very spiteful.
Shaq is high on the petty list of athletes.
So petty, man.
Yeah,
Tell me how
Like-
my ass tastes.
Yeah, exactly. That's precisely what I mean.
Just week in and week out on Inside the NBA
Yeah.
halftime show. Like that's the only halftime show worth watching, just to
Yeah.
see what gets under Shaq's skin.
Yeah.
And how he reacts.
Yeah, and it's him. It's a relationship between him and Barkley, and then just going back and forth.
Yeah, Barkley who doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit about
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
And Shaq who like cares way too much about everything.
everything exactly. I'm not surprised by this song, but it's like 15 years too late.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, 07 would have been the time. 07 it would have been prescient.
Yeah.
07.
It still wouldn't have been. I mean, think about like how dated is that Lil Jon? Like that was like 2004.
Yeah, Lil Jon
like,
even that's
what?
thrown in
Nod
But
your
he
head,
was-
motherfucker.
He was always doing like he was a DJ.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Him to
right.
go into this lane was probably not. No one could be like, "What the hell's he doing?" It would be one thing if Lil Jon did like Christian rock.
Yeah,
or
if
country.
he started singing
Or some bullshit like that. Or
Right.
started
Crooning.
singing. But he didn't do any of that. He just said, I'm still want to do boards. I got a residency in Las Vegas. I know what makes most of these people dance and move around. And
It's just screaming at them.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
telling them
I just
what
want
I
to
want
make
them
these
to do.
beats and
Yeah.
yell the cardinal directions over them.
Exactly. And that's it.
East
That's
side,
it.
west side, north side, and south side.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be drunk all the time. I want to have fun. This
You can't argue with that.
Yeah, this
honestly.
casino's going to pay me 6 figures to do it every week or every month. Why not?
Well, and
I
then-
wouldn't turn it down if I was him.
So then, can you blame Shaq, who is just such? I mean, I'm sorry. Like Shaq is a national treasure, in my opinion. I feel like Shaq is like. I mean, he is truly like the most commercially viable human being that He's like Will Smith, you know. He's like everybody can agree on him. Everybody loves him. He got a fucking sheriff's. He was named a sheriff's deputy and interrupted a homophobic hate crime. He
Yep.
stands out in fucking Harvard Square as a human statue.
Yep,
He
yep, I remember all
fucking
that.
dated Hoops from Flavor of Love. He's the everyman. We love him. We have to love him. And he was one of the best basketball players of all time. And he fucking sold his first album, Shaq Diesel, was a platinum record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
He's
all-
the
all
only
facts.
basketball player to ever have a platinum record, and so it's kind of like, can you blame him for capitalizing on his just immense popularity?
I mean, look, I think sure.
A pretty
we
decent
do-
hip hop album.
Shaq is likable in a lot of ways, but I also think he's got an ego problem, and I think maybe that leads to him maybe taking on a little bit more than he should, because you've mentioned he has commercial appeal, and I'm wondering, do you say that because he's in every fucking commercial? he's in-
Alex was telling me he was in the General.
Yes,
commercial.
he's in
He
the
is.
general
He
commercial.
is. He is.
He did the
No,
Lincoln commercials. He did.
that.
Oh my god.
I think
What's
he's
the?
got a Haynes deal. He's got
No, that was Michael Jordan.
That's Jordan, but still, I think Shaq.
Oh,
is in
Gold
some-
Bond. Gold Bond.
Gold Bond.
Icy
yep.
Hot.
Icy Hot also.
But I don't care.
and
He
then-
can sell me anything.
And then also his movies and his run of movies in the '90s, not something to be
oh
celebrated.
my god,
No, but-
Kazam
But he made a good.
is bad. but he's
But he
great
made
in
a
it.
good, but he made a good decision. There's some people at that point when he was making that much. You got to understand. There's a rumor that I'm almost positive is true that he hasn't spent an NBA check ever.
Yeah, he said he
And-
mentioned that.
Because he's got charisma out of his fucking,
But that's wild.
Ass.
At that time, someone could have been in his camp that he trusted to have been like, "Don't worry." After Kazam, and like, "Yo, keep doing it. Don't worry. We're gonna find it for you."
Yeah.
Because he was as big as any wrestler or
Yeah.
any action star at that time, right?
Yeah.
And they could have just kept force feeding scripts to him, and he could have been doing bad movies for up and through the 2000s. And he finally said, "No, man, I'm not doing that no more."
yeah. He's like, I'm
he
gonna be a
actually
rapper.
made a good decision.
Shaq will pretty much, he'll take any check that anyone wants to hand to him. You know, he does all the commercials, and I think I'm sure he was glad to take this check because he got signed to a multi-album deal. He's the only NBA player to ever get signed by a major label to a record contract.
Yeah.
And he got signed for millions of dollars. I don't know how many, but it was several million. It was like 10 million or something.
To Jive Records, right?
Yeah, and don't think there wasn't other NBA players with a pedigree. And when I say pedigree, I'm not trying to say Shaq didn't come from an impoverished or in the 90s, mythology is everything. It was definitely about where you were from, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't
He was from Jersey, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Newark, yeah.
But there are other players around that time, Allen Iverson, Kobe, Tracy McGrady, Garnett. All these guys came from really, really depressed backgrounds.
Yeah.
And it could be argued that any one of those guys could have just put out an album, had someone ghost write most of it or whatever. Like Allen Iverson, for all we know, for most, has an album already done, and I think they paid him not to put it out because it wasn't. And it's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, I've heard a couple of his songs, but it's terrible to know that, like, this was at a time where it didn't matter. I mean, it did matter where you were from. And someone could have, after seeing Shaq's success, could have been like, Vince Carter, come on, I got you. We're giving you a 3-album, $20 million deal. Don't worry about singing. Don't worry about writing. Whatever. You can jump through the hoop. Everyone thinks you're the next Michael Jordan. We're cashing in on this now. And for once, I got to admit, music industry might have been right about this. They might have been right. They didn't do that.
They didn't do it.
They didn't do that. They could have, and they didn't. There were other basketball players. Cedric Ceballos had one. I'm forgetting.
Didn't fucking Tony Parker
has a French
Tony
rap
Parker
album.
had a French joint. Cedric Ceballos was album. It wasn't. I never heard the album, but I heard he had this one song that was like grooving, and it was a rap song in the same vein as like DJ Quik. Like
DJ Quik is on this album.
Shaq album.
Yeah.
He's also on the Macho Man rap album.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
It was like it's totally smooth. It was like almost like an MC8, like, smooth. I'm driving a drop top car in fucking California, and me and my friends used to kill that song every time it came on Rap City. We were like, why is this on? It was terrible. He won one dunk contest, and it was a rap. He got like at least a song deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dame Lillard raps.
Dame Lillard raps, yeah.
He's good.
Yeah,
actually.
but also Dame Lillard's from Oakland. We like,
right, yeah.
He's probably saw dead bodies before he was like 12 years old.
I mean,
Like,
Same.
yeah.
No. Yeah, I mean, the thing about this is that, so again, like Shaq's first album, like that was when albums cost like close to $20. You know what I mean? Like it went platinum. That many people really were like, I'm ready to pay $20 to hear Shaq.
Oh,
yeah, pre-Napster
which is
too.
truly
That
a
was harder.
testament. Yeah, that was definitely pre-Napster. And that's a testament to, again, what I would say is kind of like his just ridiculous off the charts charisma. Like that's why I don't think any of these other, basketball players could have.
LeBron couldn't do it.
Right. Oh,
He
definitely
wouldn't
not.
be able to do it.
Right.
Well, I think also
Because he can't laugh at himself. And not like there's a lot of that on this album either, but like
Yeah.
I feel like Shaq has like a healthy sense. You call it an ego. I think he has an ego, but I also think he's able to kind of poke fun at himself.
Well, let me ask this. Let me
I
pose
don't know.
this question. Let me pose this question real quick, because you guys did the Macho Man joint, right?
Yeah.
Do you think The Rock has more charisma than Macho Man?
Yes.
Do you think he's more likable?
Yes.
There's no way someone didn't approach The Rock with a let's do
a
an
rap.
EDM.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right.
And-
But no, he's got movies. Like, because Shaq couldn't get the movies.
Exactly.
And Rock is good at movies. He can
Yeah.
do it. He's great in fucking Fast and the Furious.
So I'm wondering what it was that made Macho Man or Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, I know what Shaquille O'Neal really loved hip hop.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
grew
yeah.
up on it, and you
Yeah,
can
he grew
tell
up on
on this album he pulled
Macho
in.
Man did too,
He
actually.
tagged in.
That's what I'm
we read
wondering.
about that.
But
Right.
that's what I'm wondering. Is like, who's a person that really put the battery in Macho Man's back? Or
It was all him. I did research on it, and it's apparently he was just a big hip hop fan, and he was like,
Really,
and,
yeah.
and he was kind of delusional in the sense that he thought that this rap album was going to revitalize his career.
It's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, and when it got panned, it hurt his feelings real bad.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's
you
kinda
guys could do
brutal.
a whole.
We did a whole.
But I'm saying you guys could do a whole podcast about hip hop and wrestling.
Yeah. We've already done
Which is weird.
We've done 2 hip hop wrestling
albums. Yeah.
Really? Wait, what was the other one?
Hulk Hogan,
Hulk
Hulk's
Hogan's,
Rules.
yes.
No,
Hulk
no,
Hogan.
no. I'm talking about like how, like when the Attitude Era ended, and how slowly and surely, and I think this was calculated, maybe not by Vince McMahon, but by some pretty smart people. That were like, hey, the kids are really listening to it. We got to find a way to
They
make the
integrated
entrance, the entrance music,
Yep.
all this stuff.
You
They
had-
put out albums. MLP was doing stuff with what's his name,
John Cena
or whatever. And I'm wondering, there was definitely a point where they were like, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Well, and we've talked about how hip hop and wrestling have so much in common
We
in the
have.
sense of like the battle rapping, the braggadocious kind of I'm
Exactly.
bigger than you, I'm cooler than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm tougher than you, and
Yeah.
I'm playing this exaggerated character that really isn't who I am,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
But
still
it's like
performing
an
this
exaggerated
identity.
version of me. Yeah.
Hip hop
yeah.
has definitely turned into WWE now.
Yeah.
I think it's more WWE now
than the WWE.
than ever. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
true.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, but if you want to go get us off on a tangent, especially Mike, it's to start talking about wrestling,
Yeah,
and we're going to talk about this album. And before we get into it fully, I just wanted to ask you, Garvey, you chose this album for us. Why did you choose it? Why do you want us to take down
Okay.
Can't Stop the Rain?
Okay.
Why do you want us to stop the rain?
Okay. First of
You
all,
know you can't.
You Can't Stop the Rain. I think it's like number 3 out of hip hop albums using the word rain. I don't think it's a number 1. I think Queen Latifah's Black Rain is and then Reign of the Tech. Who I'm forgetting whose album that is, but there's an album. I want to say it's Ultramagnetic MCs have Reign of the Tech or somebody. I can't remember. You might have to fact check that. Those albums are better than You Can't Stop the Rain.
I would also put this behind Rain and Blood by Slayer.
Oh my God! Not a hip hop album, but probably
Produced by Rick Rubin, though.
Yeah. Here's my thing about this album is I felt like it got forced and pushed, and it was a signify of what I think is the worst part of hip hop history. Now, most people might say go 92 to 2002. Let's go 10 year span. So beginning part is where you have the beginning of the underground and backpack, bars, lyrics, blah blah blah, super lyrical, miracle, yada yada yada. A lot of hand movement, rapper hands, like you know what I mean? and it was like when New York was, or the East Coast was like super popping.
Yep.
And then by 96, 97, Bad Boy comes through. Say what you want about Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P Diddy, whatever you want to call him. I'll never not say he wasn't a visionary, and I'll never not say that he didn't know how to market a lifestyle and take hip-hop to another level. Maybe not the level that me as a hip-hop fan wanted it to become, but still a dope, like it was dope to break down a lot of barriers that I don't know could have been done. I mean, Suge Knight definitely couldn't have done that.
Right.
Hip-hop, the culture kind of needs Puff Daddy more than we want to admit. I think now looking back, people are not that upset about it. But with that
at
said,
the time though,
it was
like
met with a lot of
No
reticence.
Way Out beat Wu-Tang at the Grammys.
People were wilding.
Everyone
Everyone was done. And so here comes Shaq, and he has his first album had Outstanding that uses like an old an old like tried and true G-funk, like
very G-funk a lot on this album.
Yep, like a vocoder and everything.
Used that for the first album, and I love, like, I know the words, all the words, and then he did for almost every one of the songs on the album.
On Shaq Diesel.
On Shaq Diesel. Then that comes out, and then I think the second album, the lead single was No Hooks with Method Man was on it.
Right.
RZA produces it, Method Man's on it. And it's like a horror, really dark, like lots of chords. But that was the sound at the time.
Yep.
Everyone was like, I need a song that sounds like RZA produced it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, yeah, Shaq, stay on this. Cool. Fuck what everyone else is doing. This third album, you can definitely tell someone got in his ear and said, you need to have all of these rappers on this album. It needs to be very laden with a lot of guest stars. And the beats have to be by all of these people who are, I'm telling you, Shaq, they're doing great. You're going to love these guys. All that bullshit. And I had a lot of hopes this is 96, I was 17 turning 18 years old and trying to tell my friends, this dude is nice.
Yeah. And then it was like, oh, laughing shit.
Me out there. Yeah. I lost a lot of, okay, I'm not going to say I had street cred, but I lost a lot of I couldn't get into an argument after this album came out about hip hop.
They would just hit you back with
like,
yeah, but you like that Shaq album. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
That's precisely it. And
wow. So it's because he let you down. Because they wouldn't just let Shaq be Shaq.
Yeah, well, see, I was going to say, I felt like this album was kind of, like, Heather, it seems like you like this album.
I like the first half of it, I think is fucking great.
I was going to say, this album, I think, is...
Maybe not great, not, like, stunning. We listen to a lot of really bad music on this show, so in comparison, I was jamming to it.
Sure. Okay. I would say that it was better than I expected, given what I'd heard about Shaq's rap career. But I also got the sense sort of that it was good. If it's good, it's good in spite of Shaq. Like, his contributions are the weakest of all of the, like, the litany of features and stuff. Right. It's all the album, like, you can tell a ton of money was pumped into it from the label, you know, in terms of the talent they got involved, the amount of money I'm sure they spent on the production,
and on the promo. They had to have done something with that photo shoot because the first picture that comes up is him flexing in a fucking white vest.
In a white
what are we doing?
Suit vest with nothing underneath.
This is
like a Chippendale.
It's so
this is the shining suit era.
Yes.
That was when this came out.
Very shining suit era. So, but I'm thinking now, maybe I get the wrong sense. Like, you know, maybe the problem isn't that Shaq got outshined on his own album. And, you know, I thought that they did that because he was no good. But maybe he was good and they should have just let him cook. Maybe maybe I had the wrong idea about
he's
this.
a really good freestyler. I mean, that shit about Kobe was a freestyle, apparently. Like, that was him coming up with it off the dome, and he's done it. So
I'm going to say, though, I mean, I wrote down a lot of bad lyrics.
All right, well.
There's some dumb...
I'm ready. I'm ready
Let's
for
do
every
it.
bar that you got.
You know what?
And I might defend it. But I also might be like, yeah, you're right, that was trash.
Yeah.
And then it'll take me back to 98, me saying the line that you just said in front of my friends and, like, at basketball practice or, like, on the bus going home and, like, them being like, yo, Garv, we really like you because you have a Sega Genesis. Yeah. But now that you're saying all this shit, we could just go to Marco's place.
Oh he won't make us listen to Shaq.
Yeah, he won't make us listen to this.
Is this like group therapy? Like,
yeah.
Yo.
That's what it's sounding like.
Oh, man. Well, I personally can't wait to get into this. So let's do it. Let's start right on off with the title track. There is like an intro, but it doesn't matter. So we'll start with the...
Is this where he says he has a new name? Does he?
Yes,
when he goes,
that's right.
Oh.
When he goes, from now on, you need to call me Enrico Consales.
Yeah, what is where we get Enrico?
Quizum family. It was at the end of it was during the time when hip hop was crazy about mafia.
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
Everyone
so he's supposed to be like a Scarface type?
Yeah, he wanted to be a Don.
All right.
That? Like,
yeah.
You know, Wu-Tang had mafia names.
Yeah, Tony Starks.
So, yeah, everyone had which is weird. Ghostface decided to name himself literally after a war weapons like tech billionaire playboy.
Yeah.
The least mob name out of the Wu-Tang was named after a comic book guy who's a dick for the last 40 years.
Yeah, but
until
you know,
the movies made him be redeemable.
Those are the guys. Those are the guys who they're the mobsters who make out though, the weapons dealers. You know?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Lockheed Martin. That's the real gangsters.
Yeah. LM Gang, let's go. That would be great.
All right. Well, way to bury the lead. This is the first song on the album that is a real song. Besides that, actually, no, that was an important context building bit of information there. This is also featuring Biggie. Real Biggie feature on this. So let's.
I got two takes from this after we play a little bit.
All right. All right. We'll find out what they are right after this.
Stop it, block it, when I drop it. Anytime I go rhyme for rhyme on the topic. They ain't even fit to step in Shaq's arena. I look inside your mind and I see your shook demeanor. In your eyes, why are you surprised? No matter how you try, not fly as eloquaz. The new edition, is this the end of your last night? In the daytime, you couldn't see me with a flashlight.
I mean, my take is that I think he starts pretty strong
Yeah.
on this. You know what I mean? I think this is... It's very puffy. The production is very puffy.
Yeah.
It's very that era, like... but, I mean, it's, you know... The Biggie verse is great. Shaq's verses are pretty good. It's interesting hearing his voice as like a 24-year-old man is completely different from his voice today. Mm-hmm. You know, like it sounds.
He doesn't have a rapper voice.
No, that's true
They
too.
could have played with the levels. They
Can't
could've played
quite
with the levels.
enunciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think that him going on TNT would work out because he just, like you said, can't enunciate. And he sounds, for a guy that's very intelligent, he sounds unintelligent because we're not used to hearing that kind of voice on TV.
Yeah.
But it's worked out.
It's so fun.
It's not a basketball show. It's them fucking around and they're talking about basketball. It's like hanging out.
I mean, he has a podcast, so people
Don't even. I'm not doing this.
like listening to his voice, apparently.
What-
Shaq, please come on the pod. We'd love to have you. We'd love I think your music's great, so.
I'd love to have you on the pod. No, my take on the song is, once again, you know, I remember when Nas referenced on Ether, he's just like, when he goes, Eminem murdered you on your own shit, and he said some other things I'm not going to say. When he was going at Jay-Z and Ether.
Right, yeah.
And a lot of people were like, yo, but it brought up a great conversation of, you know, at some point, maybe not necessarily after that Nas line, but at some point, there are songs where rappers who are the most egotistical people maybe on the planet won't let someone sound better than them, rhyme better than them on a song.
Yeah.
Now, Biggie comes off so smooth and in his element that I would have said, if I was Shaq, nah, man, we're not putting this out.
That's
or
true.
we gotta change it up. Or if I'm Shaq, I would have said, yo, this should be your song. This could have been not a lead single for Big, but this definitely could have been like a single that he puts out for some movie soundtrack or whatever, and it would have been fine. Like Big goes heavy into drug talk and Dawn talk.
Yeah, right.
And he's like he says some lines that I'm just like, I was listening to it on the way here and I was just like, I don't want to hear a fucking word about anyone saying Tupac's better than Big. Like, and I understand the conversation of what people are having when because they're not talking about rap. They're talking about inspiration,
iconic status,
yeah, and all this shit. But I'm telling you right now,
persona.
if we're talking about bars,
Yeah.
Big all day.
if Big's doing this on if those are throwaway rhymes,
Right.
then I don't want to talk about what are like.
Well,
On his weakest song, he might sound better than some of the best rappers at that time were sounding.
Yeah, but that begs the question, though, like, is there anyone that Shaq could have got for a feature on this that was a known name that wouldn't outshine him?
Yeah, right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like, fucking,
it is kind of like fucking
Gun-
Big Willie
Peter
style, like a Will Smith song featuring Biggie. You know what I mean? Like if this is a summertime kind of rip off, that's
it's a summer joint.
summer. It
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
is
yeah.
very, very similar. It has the same, and actually, Shaq has a lot in common with Will Smith with like Big Willie style on this whole album, where it's like it's wholesome, it's
Yep.
inoffensive.
he says freaking a lot.
He says
Yeah.
freaking. He doesn't
Yep, he
cuss.
doesn't swear.
He doesn't
Yeah.
cuss. I
He
mean,
doesn't
he's
use
a little
the N-word.
inconsistent when
He
he's
doesn't
talking
do
about
anything like
Kobe
that.
eating his ass, in
Yeah.
public and
But
having the
that's
crowd chant it.
That's almost 20 years later.
Yeah, right. I
That's
guess he
because
evolved.
With the Kobe shit too, that was
And
something real
post-divorce.
personal he could talk about and put passion behind. Like I think maybe my main critique of this album is that there's not really anything interesting for Shaq to say. And I think that's
Right.
part of the problem of why Big outshines him, because Big can come in with this
He talk about
this-
real things.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
about real
the
shit.
coke trade
Yeah,
and fucking
exactly.
yeah.
and like Shaq is just trying to say in so many words, like, I'm great.
Yeah, and then right, but the song is
I
kind
still
of a bop.
think the song's a bop. Don't get me wrong.
That's
but,
true. It's correct.
Big at one point in one line of the song talks about being tied up by Colombians because 80 grams was missing. He goes, listen, I had to change my position from wanting to be large to head. I think he says head Chico in charge instead of head N-word in charge. I might be wrong. And in my mind, I'm just going like, yo, Shaq, you weren't ready for this.
Right. It's like me tagging in John Cena and being I'm not gonna look good anymore. Yeah.
Two lines shouldn't be better than every line that you had in a song. And so in my mind, Shaq should have heard this, or someone should have been in there and been like, nah, man.
Yeah, but then he wouldn't have a Biggie feature. Would he have sold as much without the Biggie feature? Like, I feel like...
I don't know. That's a good... Like, having the big feature was big to put on the liner notes on the back of the CD, right? Like, you look at who's on it, and you go...
Right,
oh,
that's a selling point.
Oh, Jay-Z's on this?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's another reason for your friends to not make fun of you, theoretically, right? It's like, no, guys, listen, it's Biggie's on it. Like, we're good.
That's true. You're not wrong. I have nothing to stand on here, so you're not wrong. That's fucking great.
All right, shall we move on to the next track? Let's do it.
We'll skip all these interludes.
Oh yeah.
There's some really pointless interludes and a pointless.
Calls himself Enrico Gates on one of them.
This next one is like it's a woman, like a radio DJ. It's a woman, and she calls him that sexy chocolate Superman.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was listed in his Wikipedia page as one of his nicknames.
No.
The Wikipedia
Garvey's
page.
having none of it.
Literally, the Wikipedia page just like lists every. Here, let me find them. They're great.
No, please don't say them out loud. I will pay you not to say them out loud. Here we go.
Media personality. This is under the heading media personality.
Okay.
On the Wikipedia page. Wow. O'Neal called himself the Big Aristotle and Hobo Master for his composure and insights during interviews. Journalists and others gave O'Neal several nicknames, including Shaq, the Diesel, Shaq Fu, the Big Daddy, Superman, the Big Agave, the Big Cactus, the Big Shaqtus, the Big Galactus, Wilt Chambermeasy, the Big Baryshnikov, the Real Deal, the Big Shamrock, the Big Leprechaun, Shakovic, and the Big Conductor. Oh shit! So I was wrong. Apparently, it's only Superman, not the chocolate covered Superman. Whatever.
Shakovic.
The Big Shaqtus. I think
that's when he was on the Suns.
Yeah, clearly.
The Big Shaqtus. Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for letting me. I mean, you didn't let me. Actually, you did not consent to that. But
begging you not to.
But it was great. All right, let's.
This is track 2 though,
which is.
It was all a dream.
Oh yeah, continuing the Biggie worship.
Dedicated to all the little bad knuckleheads running around.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's cute.
No.
I went back and forth from Milk to Chilltown, JC. At first it's just me and mommy. The Bill came along. He bought a basketball, go to the park. Get your game on Shaq, but have your butt back by dark. I was acting like the doc. My game was the joint. Dribbling between my legs like Norm Nixon at the point. It was all a dream.
I kept my head above the water for cream, but now I'm turning all heads.
Oh my god. All right.
I think it's great.
I mean, all right, yes, it's not. It's definitely a very listenable song, but I'm still gonna talk to my shit real quick because last song was a ripoff of Summertime. This song is a ripoff of Juicy. He even steals the line from it, the opening line, as the hook. Also, this is the second song where he's like, and actually, I think every single song of the album, he doesn't do any of his own hooks. He doesn't have the confidence to lay down a catchy hook.
Listen, he can't do it all. He can't do it all.
Man, the flow, it's a little stodgy, man. It's a little, that first verse, it was me and Mom, then Phil came along. Like, he sounds, you remember Big Shaq Take You to the Movies? He sounds more like Big Shaq than Shaq on this track.
And that's that.
And all that made me think of was just more of a case against me, like, you know, in terms of me trying to defend this album and me like playing that song and my friends being like, skip. I'm like, yo, but it's a tape. They're over to fast forward that bitch. But it's fun to hear words like ism and tricknology and cream and like
was blism? Was that an actual term? What does blism mean?
Yo,
that was ism.
No, he said materialism made my friends blism. And then that led to them selling ism or something like that. And I know ism I've heard that before, but I haven't heard Blizzum. And I don't know what it means. I can't.
You don't got your third eye open. That's what it is. That's what it is. Mike, you don't got your third eye open.
Yeah.
If you knew what that was, then you'd understand the struggle. I thought you were an ally, but it looked like you're just part of. You're just a secret agent for the Illuminati. Oh, remember the Illuminati secret society bullshit?
Yeah, this is I
want to tell you this lyrics. The lyrics I wrote down for "It Was All a Dream."
Yeah, please.
To my damn daddy, rock on. To my golf caddy, rock on.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man. He didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
Well, the next track is No Love Lost featuring Jay-Z and Lord Tariq.
Yeah, what
right.
the fuck?
All right.
Now postulation, now pause for you get splitted. I'm not just taco, I'm the whole enchilado. Into any sense of blow it up like Desperado. People know me on these streets, player, I ain't new. Looking at me all funny while I'm counting my money. Surprise, what I do is already legalized. Analyze what I toss across, it ain't no love lost. People know me on these streets, player, I ain't new. Looking at me all funny while I'm counting my money. Surprise, what I do is already legalized. Analyze what I toss across, ain't no love lost. Hey yo, I'm the dangerous, yo, I'm the Bronx most wanted. You give me 2 bricks in the block.
Yo, that clue drop is great!
I'm the whole enchilado.
Yeah.
I'm not the taco, I'm the whole enchilada. Does he not understand that those are 2 different, like...
Meals entirely.
Exactly.
They're not even at the same buffet. Also, enchilados aren't a thing, I don't think.
He is correct that enchiladas are bigger than tacos.
That's true.
I think maybe that's what he was trying to go for.
Yeah,
But yeah, I wrote
big.
down a lot of... I wrote down hooparistic, freakaristic. I got more flavor than a mystic. Surprise, what I do is already legalized. I don't know, man.
Oh man, you gotta get creative when you're not swearing, I guess. Like, gotta say hooperific.
Like, this song is good. I enjoyed listening to it, but
yeah.
Shaq's lyrics are trash. I'm sorry.
They're
Yeah.
basura, ultra basura. Yo, I'm telling you right now, that was another line that got me, like, if there was a group chat back in 96, I would have got thrown out.
What was the
Like,
96
yo, who said
group
the
chat?
whole enchilado? Yo, get those fucking bars out of here. Give us your Sega Genesis to get the fuck out of here.
96 group chat was just a piece of paper you were passing around the classroom.
Yeah, you would
Yes.
fold it up like a little. It would
Yes.
like fold into itself and throw it like a football.
Oh my god, if I no, it would have been a wrap for me. Hove's verse is crazy. Lord Tariq, this is before what's the song that they have? Tariq and Peter Guns. They take
No.
They take the beat from
From Black Cow
yeah,
by Steely Dan.
Steely Dan. They take the Steely Dan
what the
beat.
fuck is that song called?
Damn it! Why? Yo, we're so washed.
God damn
Oh
it.
my god, I'm so washed. But this is after Lord Tariq and Peter Guns have a #1 record. Literally a #1 record. That was played. It was weirdly
Time to
played.
take a nice step down.
And so them being on the Shaquille O'Neal album led me to think at the time, oh, this is going to be the shit. But in my mind, this should have been a Lord Tariq song
Yeah.
featuring Shaq with Hove, who's now Hard Knock Life's either about to come out or just came out.
Yeah, which
So-
is wild.
Yeah.
That song's called Deja Vu, right?
Yes.
And it's off the album Make It Rain, R-E-I-G.
Which
R-E-I-G-N.
pushes this album down on.
To #4 now.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
It definitely. This is when I was like, this really reminds me of the Macho Man album, except like Shaq has just way more talented rapper friends. You know?
And the beats are way better.
Yeah, the beats are way better. The beats are really good. The
beats aren't
production
done by
is
the,
good. Everybody else is. I thought Lord Tariq's verse was the clear standout on this one. But I mean, yeah, Jay-Z's also great, and but Shaq is just okay. But he
the
sells
songs
it.
are very good, but Shaq is not really contributing
No,
very much value to them. You
he's
know?
he's like when he was on the Celtics that year.
It's like
Wow.
hey, you know, he had a lot of heart.
I love Shaq. I love Shaq.
He was a locker room leader, all right?
Yeah.
And the Celtics
Not a
sucked terribly
scoreboard
at that
leader.
time, right? Like our second, like that was after
We were scrambling.
Oh wait, no, wait. That was we still had KD and Paul Pierce then, right? Actually,
In 2010 and
Yeah, 2011.
Did I say
Yeah,
KG?
yeah.
KG. Jesus Christ.
goodness.
Just fucking
11.
shoot me
That
in the
was
brain.
that was 2011, 2012, maybe.
Yeah, actually, no, but I mean, aside
It was
from that,
2010 to 2011.
we had lost
I think,
Ray
was his
Allen.
year.
He had gone to the Heat. We still had Pierce and Garnett, but also, like, our third best player was, like, I don't know, like Marquise Daniels or something.
Wow.
So,
I just got depressed.
We gotta go on. Yeah.
we'll do
wait.
straight playing.
Okay. All right.
this the-
Oh, this is straight up G-Funk. I love this. I love this one.
Of course.
This one's.
Of course.
And all the kids in the press trying to kill me. I force it around my body that can shield me. There's nothing left for you to do but try to thrill me.
I took a stand in the 90s, shook but unturning. It's the fact that Shaq could leave a cold trap burning. Leaning low in the Tahoe, my whole crew to follow. A convoy, $100,000 car follow. Keep your eyes on the biggest big man in the era. Whether it's rap or ball, Enrico Gates bring the terror. DWIS to the end, the world is mine. And I'ma shine from now to 99. Don't for breaking backboards easy. Leave it come.
Wait, I'm going to shine from now to 99. That's only 3 years that you're going to shine, dude.
He thought that world was ending. Like, plus the rhymes, and all the rappers were obsessed with the Illuminati, and I was like, there's only 5 years left. Like, so maybe he thought the world was ending in 2000.
All right, yeah. I mean,
Maybe.
that tracks.
Maybe that's what he's referencing.
That's some more 5% or third eye shit.
I think it's a pretty good song. It's a straightforward, G-Funk riff. It's Flashlight, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's not revolutionary, but I am so used to listening to some of the worst that music has to offer. As a hip hop fan,
Yeah.
it's not exciting, and it is kind of it's phoned in,
Yeah.
and he's being outshined regularly. But as like a fan of, or just as a person who does a podcast about terrible music that
Yeah.
like feels like I'm shaving my organs with
Yeah.
like a cheese grater,
Uh-huh.
I'm like bopping to it. I'm like, I could picture myself with the
Yeah.
windows down listening to this one, and he doesn't have to say anything revolutionary.
I mean, yeah, it's well put together. The production is nice, but like the production was nice on Aaron Carter.
He did beat Shaq. I mean,
Yeah, that's right. That's
All
right.
now you just got flat out disrespectful.
boom.
Not
Yeah,
make it
that's
stop.
actually as
This
much
is
of
what
a.
we call make it disrespectful. You said Aaron. Come on, man.
That's the concept of his song. I
It's
beat Shaq.
How
It
I
was
beat
just-
Shaq. Yeah,
this
that's
is-
actually one very huge strike against Shaq, that he allowed himself to be defaced, but also indication that he doesn't take himself too seriously, and he can take a fucking joke.
I would say almost.
Which it is a
everyone
joke.
would say that about Shaq.
Yeah.
That he likes laughing and he can laugh at
Right.
himself.
He's a goofball.
It's true.
He's a
He's
huge
good for the
goofball.
kids.
I'll
He's,
just say, did you
he
watch
seems
him
like
on
a
Hot
genuinely
Ones?
good guy, right?
Did you watch him on Hot Ones?
No.
I didn't see him.
No.
Because he bullied Sean Evans in that video.
Really?
The host of Hot Ones. At the end, because you could tell that he was starting to get pissed off that Sean can take the wings and he can't.
Yeah.
So he made the last wing he was like, all right, we're going to do a free throw contest. And like if Sean loses, then he's like, all right, we're going to do, if you lose, you got to eat a wing with all the sauces on it. It's called Shaq sauce. And he's just like, and of course, like, and then he moves the basket back so it's harder for Sean to hit it. And then Sean loses to him, of course. Shaq pours all the hot sauce on this one wing. And he's like, no, you got to eat every bite of it. You got to eat every bite. And it's like, yo, what do you, like, and a consummate professional, Sean Evans, he eats every bite of the wing.
Wow.
But yeah, I
Good
think,
guy.
Shaq,
He doesn't like to lose.
he likes to poke fun of himself, but he doesn't like to. Yeah, he doesn't like.
He
to
wants
lose,
to control the
exactly.
narrative. Yeah.
Yeah,
And this
and
all.
I don't hear him being self-effacing at all, like anywhere.
No,
this
not
album.
on this album. No, it's all pretty bland bragging.
I'll tell you what. Here's the caliber of brag that you get. Is I'm guaranteed. Say what? I repeat. I'm guaranteed to bring it to your face. Yes, indeed.
No.
Yes, indeed. I liked. We can cut through the red tape and bust through the fakers. Keep your eye on Big Shaq and put your money on the Lakers.
No. So then that explains why the song got made, because he had just either spent his first year in LA.
Yep, this is his first year in the Lakers.
All right, so now the song makes sense. There's no way he could have put out an album while playing for the Lakers without paying homage to the culture out there. So he needed a top
West
down,
Coast Compton.
Yeah. He needed a top down 66 Chevy. Yeah. Snoop Dogg, heavy bounce song.
Well, he went from the East Coast, with Biggie, and one of the rhymes on one of his songs, I forget, it was like, I used to play in the East, but now I play in the West, and that's kind of cool, I guess. It doesn't go anywhere, but
I don't think that's exact.
It does get something like that. It does get noticeably, I feel like, worse from here. These were the first songs that I was like, I'm digging this, I'm into it. Like, where's the badness? But it gets pretty bad, I think. Shall we move on to the next one, which is No Love Lost?
No,
I mean, what the fuck?
Next one is Best to Worst.
Oh, Best to Worst. Yeah,
featuring
No Love
Peter
Lost
Guns
was
and
before.
DJ Quik once again.
Best to the worst, because my lyrics are strong. I'm sending rappers to heaven, so call me uplifted. I greet you, the future, take all your recognition. Key in the ignition, first gear, I'm gone. Add the best to the worst, the best, my lyrics are strong. Out the alleys of the ghetto, the echoes of voice sweeter. The melon, a felon under the first name Peter. Looking out the hourglass, what do I see? Giuliani Pataki at me with death penalty. A dodge the cops bomb.
Right, so this is a song about, like, police brutality, I'm pretty sure. There's, like...
Yeah, I mean, Peter Guns' verses.
Well...
Shaq's verses, I'll bring the drama to your mama if she want it. Why would she want it?
No.
He's asking for consent.
No, he's saying that to any police that want to pull him over and want to take his life. He'll bring the drama to their mom only if they want it.
Very respectful.
If they want it. Peter's Guns verse is crazy. It's dope. But I just...
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Yeah, you can't really juxtapose a flow like that and, like, lyrical content like that to, the ill beat seeker. I mystify minds like I'm a preacher. When I meet ya, start convulsing like a seizure. You best believe I got more tricks up my shirt sleeve. Expeditiously, I get loose like hair weave.
No, don't say that's a bar. Don't.
No, I'm just gonna say
not.
expeditious. That's not the first time I've heard expeditiously in a '90s rap song. I'm just gonna say that's a popular $5 word.
This is great.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
Shaq rhymed pharmacies with mercy. I just want to point that out.
No, he did that.
Pharmacy.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
No, man. See, I'm being put in... I see, this is what I'm talking about. We were talking about this before. It's like, I feel like I'm going to be put in a position to be critical when I've been known to not be the most critical person about anything type of art form. I'm telling you now, when you guys say these rhymes...
You're just transported instantly back.
Transported back, and I'm just going like, what the fuck?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying maybe your boys were a little bit right about this being some trash. I don't know. Oh no. I'm sorry to open up the wounds.
That's what's happening right now.
But I gotta shoot my shot on this, and I gotta say that rhyming pharmacies with mercy.
And it's a brick.
That's not even.
We're not dunking.
That's not even hand glass.
No,
it's
yeah.
No.
That's a Shaq free throw.
Oh man.
So how many of this album is this album? I mean, we're gonna keep going a little bit, but is this album so far better than his free throw percentage?
7 songs, but 2 of them were interludes, so 5 real songs.
Oh God, we gotta hurry it up.
So has there been 3 really good songs and 2 bad songs?
I think there's been 5 really good beats and 5 really bad lyrics. And a lot of good features.
We're
gonna say
about
Shaq.
Garvey, let's save that for the end when we rate the whole album, because I think free throw percentage, I would say that I think at least 3 of these songs are good songs.
What's his free throw percentage? 41%, something like that?
No, it's gonna be.
Would I say that if these songs, each song was a free throw, that did he sink all 5 of them?
No.
Maybe
3 out of 5. I'm giving it that.
Maybe 3 out of 5, which would put it above his free throw percentage.
Yeah. So far we're above the free throw percentage.
above the free throw percentage.
All right.
But there's time yet, so let's fucking catch some air over here.
Legal Money featuring Mobb Deep.
Every day I'm trying to get this money. It's nothing like legal money. Stacking the cake makes rainy days sunny. One lump sum, blue chips and checks so I can play my way all day. Lyrical, profound around this like Mobb Deep. Mission on Earth, bust some speakers and Jeeps. Phrase of day, don't y'all sleep on Shaq. I reconstruct abstract with facts of visuals. Clock speakers that for locker for residuals.
Wait. What was the name of the song?
It's called Legal Money.
Legal Money.
Legal Money.
It's weird hearing Mobb Deep rap about making legal money.
When most of their stuff is about.
Right.
And it's weird for them to be on a track with an imposter like Shaq, you know what I mean? It's like some trife shit.
Yes, it was produced by Havoc from Mobb Deep. And yeah, that was... I know Prodigy does the first verse. I know Havoc does the third verse. The hook is Lord Tariq, once again.
The second verse is apparently Shaq, but does not sound
That doesn't
like him.
sound like Shaq at all. It doesn't
Did
sound
he-
like any other track. So either he
Is it ghost rapped?
It sounds
there such a
like
thing
it
as ghost
sounds like it's
rapping?
ghost rapped. I mean, he's talking about things that are relevant to Shaq. Like he's got the line.
He's got those shoes
First
with
MC,
the swirls on them.
Yeah, first MC ever to have shoes and mics in the source, which is funny.
Yeah.
That's true.
This is the shoes in the source. I get it now.
No, because he was in the source and they were reviewing his shoes, his sneakers, and his fucking albums at the same time. And he's like, I'm the first one ever to do that, and that's true.
I think he's actually got a pretty good verse on this song. I'm not convinced
If it's really him, I don't think it's him at all. It
No.
doesn't sound like him.
It could be him, but it probably wasn't written by him.
It doesn't even sound like him, though. Think about all the other tracks on this album that we've heard so far where he it's all, like, there's no space in his mouth. You know what I mean? He's always just kind of like...
Maybe he rapped it one line at a time and they cut it together. Because it sounds like more...
It sounds crisp.
That's not a bad theory.
Yeah.
Is that
It
he
sounds
might have
crisp.
done, or he rapped it at a certain pace and they turned up the BPMs. And they said, there's no way you're going to have to rap, do this on
right,
tour.
Yeah.
So-
There was never a tour. He never performed live any of these songs, right?
I don't think he did a tour. He would go on, Arsenio Hall or whatever.
Right, but he never did, concert tours or anything like that.
Not to my knowledge. I'm not saying he did.
I mean, he was
but
kind
not
of
to my
busy
knowledge.
being, a really, famous basketball player, I guess.
Superstar, megastar.
Do you know what at this point I realized this album reminded me a lot of the Eddie Murphy album.
Oh,
How
yeah,
Could It Be?
right.
Because the Eddie Murphy album was pretty good, but it was all
Did it have a ton of features?
It was
Yes, all
like
features.
Stevie Wonder and
Yeah.
and fucking Rick James wrote most of the songs on that Eddie
Which
Murphy
I
album.
heard about, yeah. But no, come on, man.
Well, it doesn't make it
Come on,
a
man.
good album, but it comparatively it's less terrible. But it's only because of the famous friends that got tagged in.
Yeah.
That
Well, I mean,
simultaneously make him look better, but also make him look like a chump.
On the same token, though, I mean, can we really disrespect him that much for that? Because I kind of feel like No
Right.
Way Out, No Way Out by Puffy was kind of the same thing.
Oh yeah, Puffy's
But
not a
Puff-
rapper,
but-
but he was culturally significant.
Well, so is Shaq.
Yeah, but
Puff-
not as a rapper.
But
Go ahead.
Puff came in, his most famous line to this day. So don't worry if I write rhymes, I write checks.
Yeah.
Shaq was definitely someone who was coming in that was of the essence, cut from the cloth. I've been rhyming since I was 13. Before I was even hooping, all that shit. And
It's definitely a vanity project.
But so was No Way Out, really.
But that's
Every song on No Way Out had
what this
features.
is. But no one would
Except
say
for
that's
What You Gonna Do.
that is oh god. But that in my mind is what was they knew that. Everyone knew that going in. People thought, or at least I thought, oh, Shaq's gonna get these bars off with some
Yeah.
This is
top
just
tier
because of your
MCs.
childhood trauma,
Yes,
Garvey.
it is. I was like, Shaq's gonna get these fucking bars off. He's coming at every hooper's neck. He's gonna even come for some rappers on this. Cedric Sabalas, get him the fuck out of here. And then this album comes out, and I was just like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, this. So this was
This is a vanity project, but I think that's what you get with some of these guys that aren't rappers. Rappers want to be, some of these
Or
basketball
even the
players.
people who
Basketball
are
players
rappers.
want to be rappers. Rappers want to be hoopers. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they all wanted to get. This is just like the Eddie. Don't get it twisted. Eddie Murphy's album is definitely a vanity project. There was nobody
absolutely.
telling him. There was nobody that was going to tell him, Eddie, I don't think you should do this.
Yeah, for sure.
They would have got
In
fired.
fact, they were encouraging him
Yeah.
because they wanted to make money because
Yeah.
they knew how
They
famous
would've got
he
fired.
was. I mean,
They
that's
would've been like,
that's
Ed.
like undercurrent of so much of the music that we discuss on this show is just fucking, you know, artists, people who are already just incredibly famous and that people were, you know, pimping out pretty much and making tons of money off of being, you know, allowed to do whatever the fuck they want. Nobody is ever going to tell them no. And that's the double-edged sword of fame. But all things considered. All things considered,
like, is there a party all the time on this album though? Is there one of those songs that really like has that crossover into just being good on its own merits?
It would have been on this song. It would have been on the first one.
It would have been on Shaq Diesel
or
maybe
Rock.
Straight Playing. I don't know.
No, stop.
All right. Well, let's
Edge of Night featuring Bobby Brown.
Yeah, this is that's what I got to say.
I might not have anything to say about this song.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this song.
Yeah. Featuring our boy, hometown hero, Bobby Brown of New Edition and ruining Whitney Houston fame.
Oh man. She was already on her way, though. I don't know if he pushed her that much. That's all I'm going to say. But that's another conversation for another time. But
she was America's sweetheart.
Wait here, time to make it clear. Retreat, take a back seat, step to the rear. Scram, Superman is in your metro. Break him down fast, if he gas, I get him petrol. The man, the metal, yo, I'm still Shaq Keys. The world is mine, baby, so blow up on knees. Can you feel me? Feel me? Feel me?
Shaq is coming. I can feel it calling in the air.
All right.
Shaq is coming.
All right. Super pause. Wait. Let me ask this. Did Phil Collins get a cut?
I would hope so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this...
Do you think Phil Collins... Do you think they got a clearance from Phil Collins? You know how much that sample would have had to cost?
I'm sure they put the money up for it. This was a
they were betting on Shaq.
They were really they put a lot of money in this album, I'm sure.
Don't bet on a guy.
I wonder what the budget was for this shit.
Followed by Aaron Carter.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna go, who could get you 30 and 15 any night on the
True. Yeah, I mean, this definitely falls in line with the tradition that is, you know, still very common, which is having, you know, artists just lazily steal the hooks from like 80s rock songs and barely change them and make that. But like it's happening today, you know, like I want to rock with somebody, you know, I want to get shots with somebody. Come on, that's the same exact fucking, it's the same song.
Meek Mill just used it and on almost every podcast I listen to about fucking hip hop, everyone goes that the cost for that had to have been that's certain rappers' whole budget.
Right.
Those things are cheap.
Yeah.
Unless
I bet they pay for
you are
though.
Friends with that artist, or you know someone.
Well, Shaq may be, you know, who knows?
Like
maybe Phil Collins a Lakers fan. Maybe he's an Orlando Magic fan.
No, stop. That In the Air joint had to have been at least 5 figures.
Yeah.
Well, it was a waste of money because the song sucks.
It's really dumb.
This is the first like truly bad song in the album, I think. I don't think there's anything.
Also,
that's an air ball free throw.
This is a big swing. I almost said swing and a miss like it's baseball. Yeah,
it's that bad that it's another sport.
It's another sport.
What is going on? It has nothing to do with being on the edge of night. I couldn't understand. There were no lyrics available for this online, and he's basically unintelligible.
I don't understand.
Like I literally don't understand anything that he's saying.
Yeah, I have no idea what the song is
which
about.
is why the song before it, I'm like, that can't have been Shaq. Like I just can't, because like you compare those verses.
I just think the more and more I think about the last song, I just think he probably said his rhymes, and they just turned up the BPMs on it.
Yeah.
They almost chipmunked his voice. Like,
right, and because he's such a deep voice that they could just chipmunk him and it wouldn't be like that noticeable. Oh, with this song, we see through your lies.
With this song, it's just
Illuminati is real.
Yeah. With this song, it was just like, nah, man. Like, no.
Nah,
man.
Next.
You're not getting off this. You're not getting off. You're not going to sell us on getting off. Like, if there's anyone that should have been using something like that, because that's around No Way Out, Puffy, you would think it would have been him, right? And it's fucking Shaquille O'Neal using that shit.
I know.
And that just goes to show, no, man. That means they didn't give a fuck. And they were just they're like, yo, doesn't that sound like something? And someone in the studio was like, don't worry about it, just rhyme, brother. They don't give a fuck.
Sing about your stepdad some more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the
Shout
shit
out
bangs.
Zach's stepdad.
Yeah,
Shout out
Phil
Phil.
seems like a great guy. Can we move on?
Let's move on to another song that I hate, which is "Let's Wait a While."
Okay. Oh yeah, this is his like romantic.
You're mad about him ripping off Whitney Houston, or people ripping off or ruining Whitney Houston's life. This guy, this next song, he doesn't even change anything. He keeps the hook of "Let's Wait a While" and keeps the beat of "Let's Wait a While" by Janet Jackson, and just
ruins it.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Well, let's find out. Let's not wait any longer.
And basically, the lyrics are like, I don't want to wait a while. What's your problem?
Yeah.
I'm Shaq.
Do you know who I am?
How you feel, huh? What's your name, girl? How can I get with you? I can't believe that she didn't heed that. No type of feedback. I need to pull my sleeves back and try again, time after time. But I won't stop until I make the girl mine. I know I got you open. Yeah.
Listen, I know that that's not the hook for the Janet Jackson song. The hook for Janet's like, let's wait a while.
Yeah.
Before, let's wait a while before we go too far. It doesn't matter. They were using the beat and they just changed the melody of the hook so that they didn't have to probably pay Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis or whoever produced that song a whole bunch of guap. You're telling me they took a fucking Phil Collins sample and a Janet Jackson sample, and they had money to still get Big and Jay-Z and Lord Tariq and Peter Guns and Mobb Deep and Bobby Brown all on the same. No, man, this is not real. I'm telling you.
This is just all a fever dream.
This is ridiculous.
This is like the...
It's a romantic slow jam about Shaq doing push-ups.
No, it's not even. No, this song I got problems with the lyrics because it's not about that. This song is like the chorus is "Let's wait a while," but it's pretty clear that this girl, she's not even trying to wait a while. Like, it's just Shaq pursuing a woman who doesn't want to fuck him.
Yeah, exactly.
And just saying, like...
Who's been very
just
clear
saying,
about
don't front, you know I got you open.
Yeah.
I mean,
you were so cute that I ran like Pac-Man in Hot Pursuit.
Oh, my God. I wrote down, I mean, a queen like you deserves honor. Scoop you in a drop-top Porsche. My tire's armored. Like, nothing's sexier than an armored tire, am I right?
Your tire's armored?
What does that mean?
Not even Batman does that.
Yeah, I know.
That's like so
And you,
fake.
sir, are no Batman.
That's not a thing. You go put metal over your tires.
Maybe he meant like armor. Maybe like Armorall. Maybe
Oh yeah,
he's
got snow tires.
It's a commercial tie-in.
You know, like Armorall that you spray on tires to make the tires look new.
Okay,
yeah.
So maybe it was
he's doing a commercial for them like next week. So
cut the check, Armorall. Cut that check.
That's how they afforded the sample with the Armorall money.
Yeah. Exactly. They paid for Armorall. Cut Janet Jackson.
I feel like Shaq looks like he like oils up with Armorall. He is.
No, he oils up with Gold Bond.
Yeah.
Make sure he got no.
Well, no, it's because he's so oily. He needs the Gold Bond to help with the chafing.
The chafing. I never want to hear. Shaq
I mean, he's like 375 pounds, 7 foot something.
I never want to hear.
He is like a
Shaq
gigantic. I love that. Yeah, that was like one of the earlier songs, but he's like, "Follow your dreams, and you could be a basketball star." I'm like, I'm not 375 pounds and 7 foot fucking.
I don't want to hear.
No matter how much I dream, it's not gonna happen, my dude. But
hey,
it's okay. I'm glad Phil helped you have a healthy self-esteem.
Oh my God!
It's all Phil's fault, actually.
I played a show with a band last night where the lead singer was 6'8".
Wow.
It's the tallest guy I've ever seen in a band.
That's
taller than me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. He barely fit on the stage. No, he was a lead singer.
Wow.
It's almost like if you're that tall, you don't need to be in a band. Yeah. Your life is already interesting enough.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're tall? You just sit in the hammock all day and like wait for people to adore you, I guess.
If you're that tall, he probably already has like a 15% chance of getting the NBA on his height alone. Like,
wow.
Dude, you don't need to be in a band. It's not worth it.
Leave some for the rest of us.
This lifestyle is not worth it.
Yeah, this lifestyle. Playing the cantab.
Yeah.
You're right.
This lifestyle. I feel like it does a number on you.
The band was really good though. Shout out to TV Shirt.
TV Shirt.
I had to think of the TV Shirt. They were really good.
Great.
Oh my God.
All right. We should let's get Shaq to it. This I'm so sorry. This next one.
You didn't want to say that for like 2 hours. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. This one is called "Can I Play?"
Featuring Peter Guns again.
Peter Guns.
There's been a whole lot of talk about a man named Shaq. Will he back down or will he aim for attack? Will he rap, act, and play ball all together? Will he fade away or will he be around forever? Now listen, hands down, I dominate the center. 24 raw, positive vibe is what I give you. From the days to the night, I'm creeping you.
There's
No.
Yeah, this is the first one where it's "Can I play?" and my first note is, "Listen, I'm all set."
Yeah.
I have a boyfriend. I'm in a relationship. Sorry.
Let's wait a while. Forever. Let's wait forever for the because there weren't any more albums after this one, right? He waited a while.
Well, this was the end of he had a 3-album contract, so this was the last one.
Okay. No one was rushing to sign him after.
Yeah. I think after
Can't
that
Stop
he
the
started
Rain.
winning championships, so I guess he had more important things to worry about. But
there's a line on this where he's like,
No,
"It's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's a black man named Shaq," or something. Like, he like says,
Come on, man.
"It's a black man in the sky." I'm like, who's gonna look at you and think you're a plane, my dude?
I mean, well,
Well, he is aircraft carrier size.
Yeah.
Maybe. Thank you for clarifying, Shaq. I'm glad to know you're not a plane.
I'm glad to know you're not a plane. Wasn't clear. When I started from far away, I was like, God damn.
Especially with the wingspan of that man. I mean, like, seriously. I feel like he's not very aerodynamic, though.
I don't know. I mean, he had a nice vertical.
He's kind of a bit of a lumberer.
In his younger, in '96, he had
a plane.
He had a nice vertical.
We ain't calling him a plane.
He jump.
Truck. Yeah.
Yeah, this song is bad. My note is pretty much just my only notes are I just drank a coffee and I'm tired now. And the hook, it was the worst on the album, I think, where it's just a woman going, "Come on, Big Shaq, go ahead."
Go ahead.
Does he miss a free throw here?
Big Shaq, go ahead.
This is a big miss.
This is like side of the backboard.
We're breaking it.
You ever see that video of the guy who, like, the worst free throw of all time, where he literally just throws it like directly up in the air and it falls like 3 feet in front of him. It's that free throw.
Yeah, this is the part of the album where it's also like shocking that this album is so long. Like, it really doesn't make any fucking sense for this album to be over an hour long. Like, it's totally unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any other notes on this shit.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, we can finish up pretty soon. We only got 4 left.
All right, let's bang them out. Should we just rapid fire?
Let's do 2 at a time.
All right. Cool.
So let's do "Just Be Good to Me" featuring Alicia Reeve and "More to Life" featuring Smith B, Bobby Brown,
Smooth B.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, my handwriting's bad.
Nice and Smooth, and Bobby Brown and
Ralph
Tresvant
from
New Edition.
Almost getting the band back together.
Right? Yeah, that just for Shaq's Can't Stop the Rain.
This is almost
that's the one.
Almost getting the New Edition band back together. This might have been the song where they might have mended fences, and then they were like, you know what? We gotta get Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. We gotta get them also. I think we got something. And Bobby's like, I don't know. Cracky whack.
Let's improvise while I'm talking. When I first met you, oops, you was walking. Now you in my 750 yeah, you hang around with silly and trite. While they try, I'll make you bigger than Madonna. Have you sport silk and linen, Gabbana if you wanna. Now you
all right,
okay.
we're
let's talk about when I first met you. Oops, you was walking.
You was walking. Yeah. Now, is that him? Is that him kind of trying to be like, yeah, you didn't have shit one before you met me.
Yes.
You were walking everywhere. You were taking a bus.
That's what he's trying to do.
But you were taking a bus.
Yeah, that's
Maybe that.
I just can't with this shit.
I think that was him like trying to be like, yo, when we first met, you was walking. Then I put you in, whatever, and now you've never walked anywhere other than to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So you're like,
yeah, now she's in like a drop top. I think it's something.
Yeah.
Now she's in a coupe or something. I think it's the next
Right.
line. But it's not the fact that that's what he's saying. The funny part is that he says "oops," which I can find no reason for.
yeah.
Oops, you was walking.
Oh my
How does that make any sense? It
Also, I don't think that's the worst line. The worst line is, or not the worst, the most confounding line.
Go ahead.
Take the chicken off your plate, reinverse it with the steak.
Oh yeah, what?
Reinverse.
I thought it was
Reimburse.
I thought it was reimburse chicken with steak, and then he goes off and talk about get more carrots than a rabbit, and then rhymes that with cabbage. Like, what is with the vegetable
Okay,
wraps?
so
What
more
is
carrots than a rabbit.
Are you just really hungry,
The carrots
Shaq?
are like the carrots of his diamonds.
Okay.
And the
I
cabbage
like
is
it.
money.
Money, I guess.
Yeah.
Money.
Facts, and cabbage.
But,
yeah. That was deep money talk by the Shaq Diesel, aka Shaq Forbes, aka
I'm still not convinced. I just think he was like really hungry.
Shackert Gates, aka Jeff Shaqzos. AKA, he's got all these on deck. Yo, they call me Shaq Bomber. Yo, they call me.
that, Chuck?
Yeah. Shaquille Milken. Yeah, you don't know nothing about that.
I like when you do your Shaq impression. You talk out the side of your mouth.
Yeah, that's how he talks.
Yeah, because he'll go in low on the microphone with his head down at an angle, tuck out the side of his mouth when he's mad. The song also sounds like a pretty unhealthy thing he's got going on with this woman, where she's saying, "People all tell me you're a user. I don't care what you do to them. Just be good to me." She's saying. And he's like, yeah, I'll be good to you. I'll buy you a car.
Yeah.
And stuff. But
I mean, isn't that what love is?
I mean, throwing some
But then he
gas
says,
money
like,
and make
just-
sure their insurance is in our name.
But
A car doesn't get you nowhere if you don't got anything to pay for it.
Yeah. And then in the end, he's saying, just leave me alone and leave your mouth silent. Like,
Ooh.
yeah.
I couldn't find any fucking lyrics for this, and I had already tuned out of the entire album. So I just
It doesn't sound healthy, is what I'm saying. You know?
Wait, you're throwing this album some bail in the group chat, and now you're saying
listen.
that he's now missed a couple free throws. A couple of
Oh,
songs
for
are missing.
sure. Yeah, I said that
Okay.
the first half
All
of the
right.
album was good,
All right, I'm rolling.
and it was.
I mean, you know how I feel.
This is More to Life.
I be the lyrical, mental and the spiritual, the physical. I get all up in your physical. 1 2 1 2 1 9. Break up, the earthquaker. Cut the head off the snake up. Who wanna step up first and get splashed off?
No, this is not.
No.
It was like, but Smooth B was never known for being the most. He was an abstract rhymer, but he wasn't. Out of Nice and Smooth, I would say most people
Abstract, lyrical, backpack,
Yeah.
third eye, Asiatic, black.
Yeah,
Sack.
exactly. He wasn't
Shaq.
the guy that we went to for bars. The only thing I had to say about the song is once again, this sounded like it probably was meant to be for Bobby Brown and Ralph Tresvant, and this could have just been a Bobby Brown song.
Yeah, it's
Featuring Shaq and Smooth, and maybe not Smooth B, and Ralph Tresvant, and then that goes into New Edition coming back together, and Mending Fences, whatever. But no, this wasn't that.
No.
Bobby Brown doesn't have an album around this time. I think I don't even think he was recording at this point. This is definitely around Whitney fucking her life up type shit. But this is like post Bodyguard.
Time to be on the Shaq album.
Yeah, time to get on the Shaq album.
Yeah.
Someone's got to pay these. Someone's got to keep this cocaine habit going right.
Yeah. It's a pretty good song for all the features. I couldn't tell you where Shaq is on this song. He was not really detectable.
No, wonder why. I'm telling you.
Less
this,
detectable
They're trying
than
to-
Magic Johnson, would
They're
you
try-
say?
You know what? They're trying to hide.
you're terrible. That was terrible.
Holy shit! I was gonna
call
say.
back though. It's a good callback, reference. Just in case people don't remember, we were
Yeah,
saying,
I said the thing before, but now I'm gonna try to make you ashamed of saying it. So.
we were saying that
Yeah,
Magic
remember
Johnson
that?
does
Yeah.
not have any disease anymore. It's undetectable in his body.
Magic Johnson's got a cure
Heather
for
was
AIDS.
calling back,
All
yeah.
the broke motherfuckers passed
It's
away.
vague, yeah.
All
Yep.
right.
No, I was gonna
Gay
say
bars.
something. They got all these features and these big name producers and shit, and they're trying to hide Shaq on this album, like the Celtics used to hide IT on defense.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, and that's what makes me think of IT, which also makes me think of the song. It's
Sad.
It's sad.
It's
it's
really
sad,
sad.
that something better could have came out of that.
Yeah.
Out of this, and and hiding Shaq on this whole album or this project just because they wanted to get out of the contract, it seems pretty apparent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do. You want to do the last two together?
Yeah, let's play.
What are the last two?
The Big Dog Stomp and the Game of Death.
Oh yeah, another
Game of Death.
Game of Death was Rakim. That shit is.
Yeah.
Spoilers. That shit goes hard.
Why can't we skip the second to last?
We
You
have
can play
to
it,
do
it's
them all.
bad.
We're gonna. It's
It's
an
It's
atomic
bad.
dog. Bad.
Yeah.
Spoken word atomic dog. Here you go.
Pumping the gold, doing them things, knowing my name rings. Everybody clings when they see me throw up the
Hey
wings.
yo, I peep your style, big fella, whenever you rhyme. Drop the dime, so I knew it was a matter of time before we connect and bust.
321 views on this YouTube
Baddest man on the planet. Yes! When I slam it, so she know I know they don't understand it. 11, 17, 11.
All right.
Dangerous, you playing the best at the game of death. My game's finesse. It's full of pain and stress. I train the press and leave a pain in your chest. You came to test my team. It's dangerous. You playing the best at the game of death. My game is authentic, finesse with less flaws in it. To the finish, my overall percentage off limits. Deadly radar. Don't try to come outside and play y'all. My strategy's to set up a shootout and slay y'all. Taught in New York, it's a
That Game of Death song is hard. I love that shit. That is.
Okay, I'll say this: that the beat reminds me of a time in hip hop where rappers looked like fucking wizards on the. That's when rapper hands are big, and all I can think of is, and me and my friends used to say this when we were little, was like, there would be some rappers, like whether it's the Middle East going to see a show there or whatever, like local rappers that would try to emulate that style while doing their shows, and we'd be like, yo, Gandalf, just spit some fucking bars out there. like, no need for all the hand movements and like looking like you're doing some Zen, like, type shit. Yo, just kick some fucking rhymes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, young Merlin, get the fuck off the stage. If you're just gonna look like you're casting a spell right now.
Yeah.
That song made me think of the rapper hands probably in the studio that night. Had to have been at like Lord of the Rings level. Like both Rakim and Shaq were just having a mystic off. Like, you know what I mean? That's all I can think of that. I do think the beat's hard, and obviously anything with Rakim's on it,
I mean,
you can't have a better rapper than you on your song.
I mean, he does on every song.
And
song.
it's telling that, like, when I look up these songs, if they're not under the track listing, if they're just individually like listed on YouTube, it's Rakim featuring Shaq. It's fucking Jay-Z featuring Shaq. It's fucking all of these, because it's like their verses are good, and then fucking Shaq's
you
are
get
just
a little Shaq on the side.
at best so, right? Exactly. It's like the coleslaw. Like, nobody's here excited about the coleslaw. Like, they want the mac and cheese, they want the collard greens, and the pulled pork. They do not want fucking coleslaw. I don't care how good the coleslaw is. And in this case, it's not that good.
That'd be a terrible...
It's just famous coleslaw.
It'd be a terrible rapper name, but maybe a good band name. Coleslaw.
Young Coleslaw.
Young
Coleslaw.
Big Dog Stomp. The only note I have is y'all need binocular adapters.
Yes, that was it.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
And then I wrote that exact same thing. I wrote down a line where he said, especially when I smoke reef. Which, like,
nice.
who's smoking that coral?
Oh my god.
That's
that reef.
great.
That's like somebody who doesn't smoke weed. Is gonna, you know what I mean? Who's like never smoked weed. It's like,
I smoke reef.
I smoke
past the Dutchie.
What should I say? But while he was writing this, quote unquote writing this, he probably asked somebody, what you think of that line? And his friend's like, yeah, Shaq, yeah, of course, Shaq.
Sure.
Yeah, people say Reef. People say Reef all the time. But it was
Young
like
Reef.
typical A&Rs that worked for the studio, that worked for the label. It wasn't like any of his friends that play and really smoke in the NBA.
Right.
Like Rasheed Wallace was in there being like, yeah, man, yo, that rocks. Of course, I call it Reef. I'm doing it right now. Like, no. You want some? No. It was probably some A&Rs in there that probably were just like, yo, man, we're just trying to get this done. The label wanted us to only do 12 songs, and we're at a hard 17, Shaq.
Hard 70. Yeah, this is a 1 hour and 5 minute album, like, which is unacceptable. It's not okay.
Yeah,
this is what
I think I've soured.
Yeah, Heather was like literally texting us before the show saying, guys, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think I love this album. The same thing happened to me with Macho Man. Sometimes you gotta really just work it out.
This is
no.
therapeutic.
Sometimes you don't. No, sometimes you don't have to work.
I mean, yeah,
or just not talk about it. No, I don't know. I just, like I said, I thought that the rhymes, like to start the album off, it could have been sequenced a little bit differently so that you didn't start the album off with a song with Notorious B.I.G.
Right.
Where Big is talking extra talk, lyrical, giving you some cred. But if you start swinging for home runs at the beginning of your album, it
and then end with
gets,
Rakim.
Yeah,
and the book
try to keep that momentum up for an hour, for 60 minutes.
That's tough.
It's tough.
That's tough.
It's very tough if you're Shaq.
Well, this is around the time when hip-hop songs were 3 verses, at least 4 minutes long. Three and some change.
Dude, how about the 80s when hip-hop songs were all 12 minutes long?
Wow.
And now the day, if a song is longer than 2.5 minutes, it's too long. People are like, yo, are you done yet? Like, what else do you have to say, my dude?
Wonder what they say about our podcast, which is at this point clocking in at a cool 2.
Yeah. So. We'll cut that down.
Most of the pod.
The stoppies will be looking at it like 2. It's...
Yeah, I know, right?
What did they say about this?
Well, we did say quite a lot. I gotta say, that was quite a journey that we went on, and so now what we have to do is, what always happens at the end of the show, which is when we look back on what came before us and we rate and review. We do a final rating. So. Every album is judged on a scale of 0 to -5 of some quantifier because we don't listen to good music on this show. But in this case, I kind of like the metric of the free throw percentage.
I was going to say, this sounds like we're doing like a very depressed version of Fuck, Marry, Kill. where marrying the person is the worst case scenario, or even fucking the person is the worst case scenario.
I don't want to kill Shaq.
Yeah, exactly. No one wants to kill Shaq, but I want to kill some of these songs, or kill the A&R that said we need to get this album done. Before we do a greatest hits, and then we're done. We don't have to deal with this guy anymore, who's such a diva since he joined the Lakers. So 0 to -5, like
bad nicknames.
Yeah. Well, like so let's pick one of the nicknames as a name, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just.
Yeah, 0 to -5. Shaq die.
Shaq die. Shaq die.
Yeah.
All right.
Shaq die. Let's do that.
I love that. I mean, I hate it, but it seems
like
appropriate. Yeah.
Perfect. That fits.
Okay.
I hate it.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I don't usually do this, but I want to break this down on 3 categories.
All right.
Because I think that this album has some things that work for it and some things that don't. I'm going to
right.
say the production. And you know what? Here, these categories I'm going to do out of Shaq's free throw percentage, okay?
Go ahead.
I'd say that the production on this is a healthy free throw percentage. I'd say...
For him or for a basketball player?
Just for a basketball. I'll do free throw percentage here. So the free throw percentage on the production, I'm gonna say, is along the lines of like a Jason Tatum. The low 90s.
Low 90s.
Low 90s.
Yeah.
Or like high 80s, low 90s.
Okay, go ahead. That's cool. I'm rolling.
I think it's very good. I think in terms of the Flow. How is Shaq's flow? Is he competent? Does he sound like he knows what he's doing on the mic? I'm gonna put the flow sort of at. I think the flow is at a Shaq free throw percentage. You know, I think it's about 50%. I think sometimes he sounds like he knows what he's doing, but I think a lot of times he doesn't, and it makes me question whether or not there are production tricks used in the songs where he does have like a serious flow going on.
Okay.
In terms of lyricism, I have to ask myself. I have to think back to all the other rap albums we've done on this show, and I have to think: are Shaq's lyrics worse than Macho Man Randy Savage? I think they are worse than Macho Man Randy Savage.
No way!
Wow.
Are Shaq's lyrics worse than?
No.
Are Shaq's lyrics worse than Kid Cudi's lyrics? I think that Shaq's lyrics are worse than Kid Cudi's lyrics.
Worse than bury me to sleep in a wedding tux? You fucking take that back.
Wait, who said that?
Kid Cudi.
Are Shaq's lyrics worse than Northern States lyrics? I think not quite.
No.
I think it's not quite as bad as Northern State.
Is Shaq a better rapper than anyone in ICP?
Oh no, ICP.
You think that?
Yeah.
ICP is better than this. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
I think this is all right. So the thing is that this is trying to be like a classic, classic kind of New York hip hop album of the mid '90s, and I think it succeeds only as much as the features succeed, because I think Shaq himself, fails on that level. The ICP, I think, succeeds at exactly what they're trying to do. Way
on
more
their
than
own.
Shaq.
They're not tagging in anyone more famous than them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, the free throw percentage, I'd say on the lyric side is atrocious. I'd say that this is below anyone who's ever been in the NBA. In terms, I think this is like a grade school rec league free throw percentage.
Wow.
Yikes.
And so with that all taken in, the flow, the lyricism,
okay.
and the beats, they're kind of all over the place. I think it levels out to about a negative 2.5.
Yeah.
Shaq die.
Let me
right in the middle.
All right. So let's do this in a let's do this in a bubble, I guess. Do you think he's a better rhymer than or a better lyricist than who's the home dude, Shia LaBeouf?
I've only heard Shia LaBeouf rap once.
But is that rap better than any song you've heard by Shaq where you go, "Oh, Shaq?" Yo.
I think there's one song on this album that goes harder than that Shia LaBeouf track in terms of Shaq's
the one that he probably didn't rap.
Yeah, the one that we weren't sure that was even him rapping.
Legal Money.
Legal Money is better than the Shia LaBeouf
But
freestyle.
that could, for all we know, be him sped up.
Yeah.
That is him sped up.
That looked like Chipmunk.
Other than that, I think I think first of all, Shia LaBeouf would be willing and able to freestyle battle Shaq if Shaq was up for it. So we should actually push this on Twitter and everything, try to make this happen. Shia LaBeouf versus Shaq freestyle battle.
Hashtag.
Shia
versus Shaq.
And we'll see.
Shia versus Shaq.
Because I think
they're not doing too much, right? They got time. Call up Sway.
Oh no.
I think they're both pretty mediocre rappers who think they're a lot better than they are.
Okay, so they have a lot of time, and they have a lot. They're rich, so they have a lot of time on their hands.
And they're both competitive and kind of weird. And I think, that's what the people want to see. So let's make this trend on Twitter. Hashtag Shia versus Shaq.
Sounds good.
Shaq. Oh man!
All right, Garvey, go for it.
All right. Out of 0 to -5 Shaq die, with -5 being really bad, right? That's what we're doing?
Yes.
I'm still gonna go that there are other albums, hip hop albums, done by people whose main job isn't hip hop, that are better.
Yeah.
And I agreed with your point about that this was a vanity project in a sense of either the label wanted to get this done so they can get out the deal because they're spending a lot of money on it, or like in a Puff Daddy sense, like we'll get a couple of ghostwriters in there just to help them tighten up a couple things and modernize them because, from 92 to 96, how you even sounded and what you rhymed about changed, the subject matter changed.
Yeah.
So with all that said and done, I'm probably give it 4. It's really bad.
Damn, -4 Shaqtai?
I think so, only because there are some pretty standout beats. There's some great wordplay by the features.
Yeah.
But like you can't be out-rhymed on more than half of the songs.
Yeah.
No matter what. And if you were Puff Daddy, we'd get it. We'd shoot you bail. But you're Shaq. You came in rhyming.
Yeah.
You came in telling people, I'm nice at this. I'm not to be taken lightly. I am actually good. I will make a lot of money doing this.
Yeah.
I will make other people a lot of money doing this. Ride with me, right?
Right.
And for all intents and purposes, he goes to the Lakers, so he had to make a different sounding album. Half the album, you could tell he probably might have done. He either did it in New York or he flew those guys out.
Right.
Right.
And to hang out his LA mansion.
I'm sure they were happy to go for the ride, yeah.
So I don't know. I think I would give it -4. I think You Can't Stop the Rain is so super hard, but only because Big sounds so high and but clear, and the drug talk is heavy in that song. It's like Slept On how heavy it is.
Yeah.
And Shaq is just like 7-0, Tower in Inferno, Invincible, Tube in the Big. I'm like, what the? Yo, I want to go back to. Can we get the fat dude back on?
Yeah.
That just told us about being tied up by Colombians. I want that. Give me those bars.
It's true. Yeah, the quality of the features really just makes Shaq seem that much worse. You know,
Yeah.
It just accentuates it.
Well, and I will say, so you gave it a -4. I'm gonna say that's like its biggest. Our biggest criticism is its biggest strength is kind of the limited Shaq features on this album. If you think about it, it does kind of crystallize a sound of that era that I personally enjoy very much. It was, a type of hip hop, a vibe in hip hop, a curated vibe, so to speak, that I really, enjoy. And there were certain songs that were earworms in ways that I was like, you could have told me that I've listened to this song, before, and that I've danced to this song at like a throwback night or whatever. And I don't know. I definitely get sick of the length of the album is absurd. But if you think about the ratio of talented artists to Shaq, it's still a 50-50 free throw, you know what I mean? So you get it in half the time.
Yeah.
Which is not a testament to Shaq, but might be a testament to the album. It's not terrible. I don't hate it. It doesn't make me angry. It doesn't it doesn't pain me. And there are so many fucking albums that have caused me like pain. And this isn't one of them. So for that, I'm going to give it feels like kind of Kevin Federline vibes. But Kevin Federline didn't have any guests on it. So
wow. That's where we're going right now?
Yo,
that's where we're going? This is so dark, man. Keep going.
Heather gave the Kevin Federline album a 0.
A 0.
Let you know.
Yeah, so...
Meaning it was actually not that bad?
It wasn't that bad.
It was true neutral.
I didn't give it a 0, but it wasn't that bad.
It was true neutral, in my opinion. That was my read on it. And he didn't have any good features, so...
No, but he had better lyrics than Shaq.
I guess you're right. So I guess for that reason...
Wow, Kevin Federline's better line?
I think he is,
yeah. I'm going to give...
You mean the dancing dude?
Yeah.
We still talking about
Britney
Baby Daddy?
So that's the thing about it. He's a terrible person. He's a total scumbag.
Dude, yeah?
But...
Is he?
I mean, he's a scummy dude. Yeah,
he's just kind of white trash.
I guess he's an opportunist. The whole thing, the album is not that terrible. We wanted it to be worse.
Cut the check.
Shaq, I don't know, man. I think it's like maybe a -1. I think maybe it's a -1.
Wow.
Hold up. Kevin Federline is a 0.
Is a 0.
This is a -1.
This is a -1.
This means you really fuck with this album.
I mean, I don't fuck with it. It's still in the negatives for me of Shaqtai. Wow. I'm not giving it any, like, we're still in the desert here.
We have broken the scale in the positive side only twice on this show.
Really?
Right. Yeah. ICP.
Heather gave ICP a +0.5. And I gave The Duchess by Fergie a positive 2.5 because I thought that album was actually very good.
That album had like 5. Didn't it break a number for number one singles?
Yeah, it had like 6 number one singles.
I think it has 6 number one singles on that album, and that didn't.
One of them was My Humps, so let's just be clear that
no,
this is not
that
like.
wasn't My Hump. Oh yeah,
it fucking.
No, it was London Bridge.
That song is trash.
That's
All
a
the
bad
other
song.
ones-
Yeah.
That song's good.
The girls don't cry and shit.
First song is
Yeah.
Yeah,
It also
anyway.
had Glamorous.
Glamorous is dope.
That is the best song.
My Humps is dope.
Okay, guys.
And then after that, and Big Girls Don't Cry. Those are the 3 number ones.
All right, Shaq gets a -1.
-1.
So there
Wow.
it is.
Wow.
That's
I'm
it.
gonna do a negative.
Very.
That's the one.
So that in the
I'm
canon
satisfied.
of Make It Stop, this is like
A big
probably like
range.
your second or third favorite album we've ever done here.
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I don't
No,
know.
it's fine. You don't have to change your score. I mean, look, it's.
I guess that's true.
It's a
you do.
defensible position, I think, because of the quality of production and shit.
Yeah,
but
the
it's
beats are
like-
good. The hooks are good. I
think
even
I
like.
can
I
hear-
like the girl group.
I hear your argument that like this is less
And there's good
painful than
features.
other shit we've done, but I think if you,
It's very. It's not unique. It doesn't stand out in any way.
I just think if I was really listening closely to what Shaq was saying, and it was
He's a dum
so
dum.
fucking. He's not even a dum dum. He's just a bad rapper.
On this album, he's a dum dum, and he is unintelligible, and he's not a good rapper. But he's got charisma, and yeah, I like Shaq. I like Shaq.
I like Shaq too. I don't like
and
Shaq.
I'm definitely giving
don't-
him more
you know what?
forgiveness in the Make It Stop universe because of his likability.
I like Shaq. I don't like Enrico Consales. I'm sorry. I don't care for Enrico Consales.
Oh my god. Okay.
What made?
We gotta
I can't.
we gotta wrap this
All right,
up,
let's wrap
guys.
it
It's
up.
Don't get me going.
it's truly been such a pleasure. Garvey, thank you so much for being on the
Thanks for
show with
fucking
us.
me. I love this. I love like being able to just talk shit without really like when I get to hip hop arguments with friends of mine, sometimes they get a little. People go a little, including me.
Yeah.
I was trying to convince someone about J. Cole being nice, and I forgot that it was cool to make fun of J. Like they were young
What?
enough where they thought J. Cole's whack, and I was like, no, J. Cole's dope. Like, stop. You're saying that because it's cool to make fun of him, and we were going back and forth. This is that Parlor, and I was at one point like almost like screaming. I was like, yo, they don't give HBO documentaries to J. Cole. Who's your favorite rapper? That dude ain't like, no, that dude don't got nothing. I'm sorry, but that, and
It's good you
they
didn't-
they were like taken aback by how animated I was getting. I was like, what am I doing?
Well, it's good you didn't mention this to the end of the show because I don't like J. Cole either.
See?
So this could have been the whole episode of.
See,
brought
it's
it
gonna
up
put
earlier.
us just talking about that.
Yeah.
But I won't lie to you. I love music. I love hip hop, obviously. And do I really think this album is trash? Yes, but not to the point where I would like fight someone for it. Like if he was here and he was like kind of low key upset and he wanted to just be like, "What did you do with your life?" I'd be like, "You're right, man. I haven't, but I also didn't record this album either." Like I also didn't do that. And everyone can take an L. That was in a sense his first L that
Yeah.
he took, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Right.
He does a couple other shit.
He
does some
actually
bad movies.
said
He had a
this was-
lot of
he-
big W's after this too.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Well,
wins a
he
bunch of
said that this
championships
was his
after
favorite album that he put out. This
Really?
was his #1.
Better than Shaq Diesel? Come on.
Yeah, he said it was the best. But
this.
all right, stoppies.
Yeah,
That's
let's
the sound of
let's
my
dead
head
this.
hitting the mic.
The pop filter.
Garvey, do you have anything coming up you want to plug? Any events at Parlor Sports or any
Or just
games?
tell us about where.
Or anything you got going on in your own life?
We're doing no, my life is so terribly boring and mundane. We're doing a Kentucky Derby party, and then we're probably doing some things for Women's World Cup. And we're just that place. We're that
Yeah.
place where a lot of people like coming to watch things that might have nothing to do with sports. Don't get fooled. We're called a sports bar, but we're more like we're a culture bar.
Yeah. It's a culture. It's a
Yeah,
social club.
Yeah.
But people go hard for the Kentucky Derby. Like I
they
came,
do. They do.
I didn't know
Yeah.
the Kentucky Derby was that day, and I just came in during the Derby, and everyone's there dressed up
Yeah.
in the Derby outfits. Everyone's got the big hats.
Yeah. People wild out there.
It's crazy.
And
And,
it's
if you go on a Monday during the Bachelor, it's Monday, right?
Yeah, Mondays.
They
We'll
go
be
hard
doing-
for the Bachelor Parlor
Oh, that's
Sports.
right. We'll do the Bachelorette coming up next month. Bachelorette will be coming up. That's on Monday nights, and that's where we can just see dudes really, really, I don't know, emasculating themselves. I don't even know if that would be it. But just like if you want to see
dudes being the worst versions
the
of
worst
themselves.
versions of themselves, like the toxic masculinity. You want to see toxic levels, like Chernobyl levels of masculinity. You just come through because it's out of control.
What a pitch!
Yeah. It's fun. I don't even watch the show. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. We're starting up Game of Thrones too. Game of Thrones will be big.
All
Game
right,
of Thrones, last season of it, when we did last season last year or almost 2 years ago, it was a movie every night. Every Sunday night we had 40, 50 people show up.
It's wild.
Like 3 hours before, just to sit down and chill. They're waiting for it because they don't have their
I need
parents.
the chicken fingers.
They don't have well, we don't have chicken fingers and they have their parents' HBO password. So that's that. But that's what's coming up, and that's it. I don't got nothing else. The only thing I plug is my bar. That's kind of like being at home.
It's a fucking sick bar. Parlorsports.com. You can check it out, right?
Yes.
It's in Inman Square in Cambridge. We'll be there. Yeah.
You'll probably see us there sometime. If
man.
Massachusetts
Celtics playoffs.
I'll be there for exactly. Of
course.
As the Celtics lose in the fucking playoffs first round, we'll see.
I feel like we broke the fourth wall, being like the bar. You know what I mean? Like this is a great day. This is a great experience.
Where the fourth wall gets broken. It's broken like a lot.
Well, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Stoppies, for listening to the show. We are Make It Stop. You can find us online at makeitstoppodcast.com or on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram at Make It Stopcast. We are on iTunes and Spotify and Podbean and Stitcher and wherever the fuck you get your podcast. So go check it out. We love it when you rate and review us on iTunes and when you share and shout us out. We really appreciate it. Shout out to our fan in Sweden and folks who have been
fans in Sweden.
Fans,
I feel like
our buddy told his pals.
I think he told his friends.
We love you, dude. Thank you for supporting us.
Sweden's low key the spot now.
And really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it must be the spot for bad music too. Thanks for telling us about that Swedish Elvis impersonator. That guy was fucking wild. We'll talk about him. We'll have to do a future show with him. But anyway, yep. Thank you, Stoppies. We love you. Bye.
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 The Make It Stop podcast is recorded at the Boston Free Radio podcast studio located at Somerville Media Center in Union Square in Somerville. It is produced and edited by Heather McCormick, and the music that we use for our show has been produced by Patrick Ahern. Thanks for listening.